Hello everyone, welcome to day 56 of building the flight booking engine. Sorry about the frequent change in time for this stream. I've been facing a number of unavoidable circumstances and I'm just trying to manage for now. So let's continue with the series. Today I want to focus on a number of things. From my notes here, I see that I want to focus on persisting, like you saw in the thumbnail and in the title. I want to persist data to the database for notifications. I want to persist data that is going to work with notifications, like concerning whether a notification has been created, whether a notification has been read, whether a notification has been unread, supplying all notifications to a user, and things like that. So to do that, we shall need to build a model. So let me hope everything is okay. So I'll move on to a part of my screen here, make it a little bit bigger. And again, if this is your first time watching this is a full stack project which I'm building and covers so many concepts. We're working on the front end, we're working on the back end, we have done the DevOps, we've worked on concepts like caching, we've worked on concepts like server-side, server-sent events, logging, okay? So many concepts, okay? Object-oriented programming. We looked at AWS. We looked at infrastructure as code. We looked at containerization, okay? And it will only get better and better. We looked at ORMs, so many concepts, okay, being covered in this playlist. So if this is something you find very, very useful, please like the video, subscribe, share it with people in your network. I've noticed that most of you actually are watching after the stream, which is okay, but I suggest that as you watch, please code along, okay? The only way you can benefit from this series, okay, is if you code along. If you cannot code along after the stream, make sure you write the code on your own, okay? Make changes, okay, to the code. Like for example, here in this function, if you see that I'm accepting a user ID, okay, change it, maybe put an email, okay, and see how it works, okay? Change the way you do validation inside here, okay? Tweak it and make it your own. That is how you're going to learn, okay? And if there's anything that is not clear, always watch back in time and watch as many times as you need to. Very soon, I'm going to create a Discord server. Okay, if that is something you need, please let me know. But I wanted to create a community whereby we can all meet and talk about the things, okay, together, and help each other on the journey as we learn and build this project. Okay, so many things have been covered in this project and many more are going to be covered. So like, you know, I learned FastAPI in 31 days live here on YouTube. And after that, I wanted to build a project, okay, to showcase that I have learned FastAPI and I have mastered it. This is that project. So if you are like me and you also want to learn with me, welcome to the journey. So I'll go on to the notification. I want to go to models, okay, models package. And here I need I want to create a new Python module, okay. I'll call it notifications.py, okay. And inside here, I'm going to write code concerning creating notifications. So in every notification, we're going to have a number of types, okay? That is one thing you should know. We are going to have a number of types. Excuse me a little bit. Sorry for the interruption. This might happen a number of times. I didn't wake up quite strong today, but let's carry on, okay? There is no giving up. So for us to have notifications. Okay, notifications are going to have types, like I've told you. And what types are they going to have? Okay, um, I'll come here and I say class. Okay, notification type. Okay, not notification but notification type. Okay, and notifications have different types. Okay, like you see that what AI is trying to suggest. Okay, it could be an info, warning, error. Okay, but I want to be very, very specific. Okay, very specific. So here I'm going to have my own. I'll say ticket, and it'll be simply constant. Ticket underscore uploaded. Okay, will be equals to ticket uploaded. Okay, then we shall have another one. So it says ticket approved. No, but I'll make my own. Let's say sometimes you have to actually know what you want to do, okay? Otherwise, you can blindly follow what AI is giving you. So next up, I'll say payment underscore success equals to payment success. This is good enough for me. Then after that, you can have payment failed. Okay, this is okay. Then no, not new message, but I'm going to have my own code booking underscore confirmed. Okay, when you confirm the booking, it will be equals to booking confirmed. Then also can have booking. Now, for now, we don't have cancellations. Okay, so I'll just leave this. It says flight delayed. We don't have that. Okay, yet. In case we have like flight delayed, we can always change that. So when a ticket is uploaded, that will be one type of notification. We shall have another type of notification when payment has been successful. When the payment has failed, also we shall have a notification for that. Then we can have a booking confirmed. So that is what we have for now. Okay, and then I need to come down here. Okay, and say class, create a new class, which will be the actual notification. Okay, just be lowercase class notification. Okay, not status but notification. Okay, then here in this class notification, this is going to be a Pydantic based model. Okay, Pydantic model, and it has to inherit from SQL model. So at the point here, up here, I'm going to say from SQL model. Okay, import SQL model. Okay, just like we did in other models. If you check, for example, permissions.py, you see we have here SQL model from SQL model. Okay, we have UUID, we have type checking, we have data. In fact, we shall need all these. Okay, so let me just copy them. Okay, copy all these and paste here because we're going to need all of them. Okay, the same thing, we shall need SQL model like here. I'll inherit from SQL model, comma, then say table equals to true. In the very first, I think, stream where we created an SQL model table, we said table equals to true and explained what this is. I hope you remember. If you do, please let me know in the comment section. What is it? Okay, what is SQL model? All right, so let's continue with working with the server sent events. After that, the next thing I want to do is to come here and define a number of things. Okay, I see AI is trying to suggest a number of things. Okay, so let us see if it's accurate. Okay, I can actually autocomplete. Okay, and maybe edit. Okay, say tab. Look at the comment. It says notification model represents notifications sent to users. Okay, this is correct. Then let us review. This is ID equals to uuid.uid equals to field default factory uuid.uid4. Okay, this is correct. Primary key equals to true. Nullable equals to false. This is okay. Then we have a user ID, okay, which is also uid.uid equals to field foreign key equals to user in db.id. This is okay. Nullable equals to false, cannot be null. Okay. Then we have the type, the notification, okay, which is a string and says field equals to nullable equals to false. Okay. I want it to have a default value. Okay. So I'm going to make a change. Okay. here in the notification type, I'll just say maybe general, okay? Maybe obviously general notification, which is none of those, okay? General would be equals to general, like that. Then here, okay, in the notification type, I'll say default, okay, will be equals to notification type dot general, okay? That's the only change I can make. Then this comment, I don't think I need it, okay? But of course, whenever you need comments, please add them. In fact, after some time in the project, I discovered some comments are not required, and I end up actually removing them from the project. But if you need them, don't hesitate to use them. All right. After that, we have the actual message. Okay, null label equals to false. Correct. We have a boolean is red. Okay, default is false. Null label is false. That's correct. Created at type of date time equals to field. Say default factory equals date time etc.now. Okay, we need to change this. We have seen the method etc now in class date time is deprecated. Use time zone aware objects by calling date time dot time zone dot utc. Okay, this is something I need to fix. Okay, date time dot utc now. Okay, actually this is what I just did. Okay, I'm going to find a solution for this. Okay, what it was, because I discovered in our code base we have this happening several places. Okay, it is something I need to configure. Then here we have the relationship, okay, to the user model, okay, and the type of course is user in DB. That's why I have this type checking here. You remember one time I got an issue with this, okay. Then after that, relationship back populates equals to notifications. As simple as that. So this will also have things like something to say like notification.user or user.notifications. So what next? Okay. What next do we need to do after this? Okay. Wait, but if we are having this relationship, okay. I'm thinking about something, okay? Something interesting. Let me see. I want to borrow an idea from, in this is a user table. I want to see something I did when I was creating the relationship. So the user has a group, has permissions. Then here, okay. If I go to the user model here, okay. Just like I see in the notification, we have a relationship to the user here, okay. In the user model, we can also define a relationship to notifications, okay, right here, okay. So relationship notifications, okay. Like you can see AI is trying to suggest something. Let me tab and read it. Say notifications list notification, okay. Okay, the annotation is the list of notifications, okay. Relationship back populates user. Okay, this is correct. So user notifications will work. Now we need to import here, okay. You can say from dot notifications import notification, okay. This should resolve that issue. So we have relationships on, can I call it both ends, okay. Both ends we have the relationships. So let's carry on, okay. Carry on to the next stuff, which would be running the migrations. Excuse me. So for migrations, we need to uh Actually, let me leave that to you. Okay, let me leave that to you. I will run the migrations after. Okay, but it's not that hard. Okay, to give you a hint, because I've been running migrations for you and pushing the code. If you look at Alembic versions, okay, I've been running them for you. But if to do it is simple, okay, this is one way you can do it. Okay, start the backend. Okay, then you can find out the container ID. I'll clear, say docker ps. Then what are we looking for? We're looking for this one here. Okay, on the backend. Then I can clear this. Okay, then I can say Python, not Python, docker exec interactive tt container ID. Okay, then what can you do? You can now say run uv python manage.py. Okay, then now you add Alembic. Okay, Alembic. Okay, Alembic. Remember, Alembic is the tool we are using for running migrations. Alembic run. Okay, what would you do? Run. Okay, then you pass your command like auto generate. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so try it. Okay, I want you to have an experience. Okay, with doing this by yourself. But if you can't, don't worry, I will do it for you and you'll see it in the code which I'll push. Okay, but I want you to do it. Okay, do the migration. You learn it. You learn something. Okay, and this is going to create the migration in the container. Okay, so how will you be able to get that file from the container and have it here? Okay, you'll use a simple command. Okay, simple Linux command, the cp command can help you to do that. Okay, so I've given you a hint, so make sure you complete it. If you don't, okay, it's okay to fail. I'll show you after what to do. So with that said, I need to move on to creating the CRUD operations. Okay, creating the CRUD operations. So I can close this. I need to create the schemas. Okay, if I go to schemas here, schemas, okay, I can now create a new Python module called notifications.py, okay, and create a schema that we need for the input, okay, and the output, okay, for the notification. And creating this schema should not be a problem, okay, but actually quite easy, okay, quite easy. So let's deal with this. So here I'll say from Pindatic, okay. Once you deal with the schema, you need Pindatic, okay. Then so I'll come here and create the first one. Say create notification, not notification schema, but I want notification base, okay. This is going to be like the base model for all. I want going forward, I want all my models, okay, to follow this approach, okay. And this is something I should have done from the very beginning, because when I was learning FastAPI, this is what they had in the documentation. So let us move on and do this. So the base will simply have the message for now, which is a string, the type which is a string, okay. Then another one I can say create class notification create, okay, which will inherit from notification base, meaning it has the message and type. Then for create, okay, I'll need the user ID, okay, user ID, which is of type UID, okay. So I'll say import UID like that. So you'll say UID UID.UID, okay. Next up will be notification read, okay, read, or so with the read, okay. But do I need read? I don't think I need read for now. I'll change it in case I need it, okay. Next up here, let me say notification create, then this one will be update. Okay, update. For updating, okay, I'll say is red. We shall be changing only the is red. Okay, is red to either true, false. Okay, but remember, because they're all inheriting from base. Okay, they have a message and they have a type. So create has a message, type, and user ID. Okay, update has the message, type, and is red. Okay, that is it. Okay, but when you're creating, we want the user ID. We don't need to create this is red to be part of creating. Okay, because on the model here, okay, it is by default false. So it will be false when you're creating automatically. Then the next one, then of course, when you're updating, we need you to can either update is red. Okay, you can update the message and the type. In case of any changes, I'll make changes. So class, say notification, can call it response, okay, or read. Read the response is the same. What is AI saying here? Okay, the ID of the notification. Let's go. Okay, the user ID to whom we are sending the notification. Okay, not what we had here actually says represents notification sent to users. Okay, so the user we are sending to the notification, this is their ID, the boolean whether it has been read or false. Okay, then we have, I think, created at. This is what I need here. Created at. Okay, created at. Okay, so AI says str, but this should not be an str. Okay, it has to be a date time. Okay, object from date time, import date time. Then here I'll say date time, like that. Then here I can just say maybe from attributes, from attributes equals to true. Okay, yeah, so I think this is good enough for now. In case I need to make any changes, okay, we can always do that. So now I need now to move on to another section. Okay, and what would that be? I need to think about the number of functions, okay, for doing the CRUD operations at the, can I call it at the database level? Okay, functions that would be needed. Okay, like for creating a notification, a function for creating this is something I didn't plan earlier, but I need to really consider it. Okay, the CRUD operations, but let's work on them. Okay, because that's the whole goal of today's stream, working on all the CRUD operations and making sure I'm actually done with them. So right now I'm going to go to this module. This is a module in CRUD. Okay, so here where we're going to have our CRUD operations, I'll create another module called notifications.py. Okay, so in notifications.py, I'm going to create a number of functions, okay, to help with everything else. Okay, so the first function I want to create is called define create notification. Okay, create notification. Okay, and you can see AI is trying to suggest a number of things. Okay, so to create a notification, what do I need? Okay, I need the database, okay, session. I also need the actual notification data. Okay, I'll just call it notification. Okay, that you're supplying me with. Okay, I actually need it. So for now, I'll say pass. Okay, but we need to add some type annotation. Okay, so what's the type of DB? This is a session. Okay, so I say from, I think from, is it SQL? If I go to If I close this and we check, for example, permissions, and I go up, say from SQL model import session. Okay, that's what I want. From SQL model import session. Okay, so here I'll annotate it and say DB is of type session, like that. And what is of type notification? Okay, for type notification, we can use notification create. Okay, so I'll say from backend dot schemas, okay, dot notifications import notification create. Okay, so this is what we're going to use for creating. So I'll come here, paste. Okay, that. Why is it doing this here? Okay, AI can get crazy. So it is trying to autocomplete. Okay, so let me autocomplete and then review it just to make sure that everything is accurate. Okay, because we're at the age of AI and it can help you to get faster. Okay, so let's see. What is it saying? It says db, okay, is equals to this notification data from ORM. Okay, but this is strange to me. Okay, so I'll do what I know. So I'll remove this. Okay, I'm going to remove this. Okay, but to remove it, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, say notification. Okay, then I'll pass the notification data, this one here. Okay, I'll say, like, I'll unpack the dictionary. Say star star notification. Okay, like that. But one more thing, we need to resolve this error. To resolve this error, we need to import. Okay, we need to import the model. So here I'll say from backend.models, yeah, backend.models notification import notification. Okay, so this is what we need. Okay, and here we shall say notification dot dict, like that. Okay, we unpack it. Says the method dict in base model is deprecated. Use model dump instead. Yes, actually that's correct. I'll say model underscore dump, like that. So after that, we add the notification, okay, to the session. Then we commit to, then we refresh and then return. So by now you should have this syntax. If you've been following me step by step from the very beginning, you should be having this syntax, okay, very familiar with you right now. Then what do we return? Okay, in schemas, just go back a bit in schemas. Not models, schemas. If I close this, I go to schemas, notifications.py, and this notification response. Okay, we can actually use it for the response here. Okay, because if you look at the notification type here, let me go to this type. You see we have a number of things. Okay, so here I'll say import notification response. Okay, and so the return type will be notification response. Okay, so you see notification response dot from ORM DB notification. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Okay, this is something new to me that I'm not used to in this SQL Alchemy. What is called SQL Alchemy ORM. Okay, but in case of anything, yeah, I'll always be able to learn. I'll research about it. Okay, and if you want to advise me on how to do this better, don't hesitate. Next step, I want to create a function saying define a function called get notifications. Let me see what is AI saying. I'm going to alter it. I'm going to say get notifications, maybe by user, maybe makes sense. If I take the DB session, the user ID, this will be UID. It keeps on making this basic mistake. I don't know why. UID.UID, is it up? Let me import UID. Then you can have some skipping. Okay, can skip in case we need to skip. Int default value is 0. Put a limit. Okay, limit of 10. Okay, and the response will be a list of notification responses. Yeah, it's okay. So rough will format for us this code better. Okay, when we are committing. Then here you can simply say let's say db, okay, db the database dot exec. Okay, what do you want to execute? Okay, execute is a statement. Say we want to select. Okay, we want to select the notification. Okay, where, so I need to import select from SQL model up here. Import select. Select, okay, select notification where, okay, the notification dot user ID is equals to the user ID we have been passing. Okay, here, this one here. Then of course, before skipping, okay, so AI is suggesting skip. I'll order by, okay, order by, okay, order by notification. When I want to order by the time when the notification was created, notification dot created at in descending order. Okay, the same method. Then finally, I can say offset, okay, is to skip by this, okay, then limit to the limit that we passed here. Okay, so you, to understand this, if you know actual SQL, I'll suggest that you learn SQL before getting into this. Okay, learning SQL will make life very, very easy. So get notifications by user, passes in the session, the user ID, the skip, okay, which by default is 0, and the limit, which for now can be 10. Okay, after that we run our statement. This is the actual statement, okay, the SQL statement that we want. Okay, in fact I can just return, so return that. Okay, then I say dot all. Okay, we want everything. All right, so select notification where notification user ID equals to user ID. Order by notification created at in descending. Offset skip limit is that limit. Okay, next up, I'll say define get underscore unread underscore notifications. Yeah, this time I'm trying not to use AI. Okay, just to make sure that everybody understands. Okay, but there'll be moments where I decide to use AI. So to get the notification count, okay, I see what AI is suggesting. I think this is, it looks accurate. So I'm going to revise it. So it says get unread notifications count, takes in the database session, user ID. So why you revise? Because you want to make sure that AI has generated what you intend to do. Okay, so we have the UUID.id, okay, which is the annotation for the user and returns an integer, correct? So we say return db.exec, we select a notification, okay, where notification.user_id is equals to user ID, and also where notification.isRead is equals to false. Okay, I think if I remember in SQL Alchemy to do like an and, okay, an and, I can do, if I say comma, okay, I'll do an add. I say notification, if I can say notification dot is underscore read equals to false. Okay, then I eliminate this line. Okay, this one here, remove it. I think this would be an and. Okay, actually look at this. It says return a new select construct with the given expression added to its where clause, joined to the existing clause via and if any, and then finally we return the count. Let me try to Google it quickly. I'll say SQL model and clause. Will I find it? Will I find it? Let me search. Okay, if I say and, wow, that wouldn't give me. You see, it's here where clause and expect. No. Let us see. Is there an example? So look at this. Okay. So I think that's how they do the and clause. Okay. And actually explain it here. See, look at this statement. Okay. They're saying the now class is hero, and the instance not this. I don't know how I can easily pick it. Maybe this first result had something. Okay, look at this. But this is on the AI. I wanted the documentation to tell me what it is. Okay, look at this SQL statement. Okay, it has an and clause. Where hero.name equals to dead bond, and hero.age equals to this. What I'm looking for is how to do this and in SQL model. Okay, so here, look at the example. Okay, they have, well, what have I done? They have this and. Okay, I'm not sure if this is correct or not. They have that and, they have here an O. Okay, so I guess you can use Python, okay, to do that. But let's say you can do something like this, and okay, and I'm not seeing an error. Okay, so I think this works. Okay, in case it is wrong, we shall find out. Okay, we shall see that the behavior is weird and off. All right. So get notifications, get unread notifications count. Okay. So I'll leave that at that. What else do I now need to do? So another operation can be marking them as read. Okay. So like you can see A is suggesting, okay, I will say mark notification as read, takes in the database session, the notification ID, which is a UID. Okay, now it has good, it's now getting it correct. And of course, we get a notification response. Okay, notification response. So here, to make a notification as read, we must first of all select it. Okay, we must select it. So I can say our notification, if we first pick it from the database, the notification will be equals to db.exec. Okay, I want to execute a statement and say select. Okay, I want to select a notification. Okay, where the notification.id. Okay, notification.id equals to this ID of past. Okay, then okay, comma. Okay, and where notification unless not is read, I say notification, okay, dot user ID is equals to user underscore ID. So has my function accepted the user ID? I need to pass it right here. Okay, user underscore ID UID. Okay, so let us see what's the issue here. Okay, so it's expected parameter name. What is wrong? The notification.id is equals to notification ID, which is this one. Okay, is that one. Okay, this I think it has to be single double equals. I had a single equals here. Then you can say dot fast. Okay, so that we have a single value there. So if there's a notification, okay, if it is truthy, do you know what I do? I can simply actually accept all this. Okay, say notification that is red equals to true. We add, okay, notification, okay, commit, refresh, okay. But this add, okay, let me see. Do we need to add? Okay, I'm starting to think about certain things. Okay, I need to understand how this ORM works. Let me go to, for example, do you have anything concerning updating or updating a permission? Let me see. Okay, here we are adding, but I don't really have an update. See update booking. Okay, we're adding. All right. So at the end, remember we have to return a notification. So this is good enough. Mark notifications as read. Okay. This must be, so this is for marking one notification. Okay. So we need to do the like marking for all. Okay. So you can see AI is suggesting something correct. Mark all notifications as read. DB user ID. Okay, this can be enough. We don't need a notification ID like we had here. We needed a notification ID up here because we are working with one notification. Okay, but here down using the notification ID, I can fetch all notifications for a user. So let's see what AI says. Okay, then we see. Okay, let's review it. Say notifications equals to db.execute select notification where notification.user ID is equals to user ID and notification is ready equals to false, and we get all. Okay, dot all. This is for notification in notifications. Notification is read equals to true. Okay, so db.add notification, then at the end db.commit. Then you're saying return length. Okay, yeah, notifications. That is okay. And returning an integer. So this will return the number of notifications which have been marked red. So deleting, okay. We need, it says DB session, notification ID, user ID. Okay, yeah. So that's okay. We need to know which notification are we deleting and whose notification are we deleting. So here, let me see what AI says. Okay, and not the function is returning a boolean, so meaning we can either return true or false. So say notification equals to db.execute. We select a notification where notification.id equals notification.id and notification.user ID equals to user ID. So that we only delete a particular user's notification. Okay. Then dot fast. So if notification db.delete, okay, notification, then we can commit, return true or return false. Okay. And that makes sense. So in case there's an error, please let me know. Because of anything, we shall always make change. I want to be sure about this, okay? Let me say SQL model and, comma, or close in where I'm not sure if I can, let me see if I can get some, let us see, what is this? Okay, this is not giving me what I want. Let's go here. So limiting, counting, joins, aggregations. Okay. Actually, I was looking for something like this recently. Using O. Let's see this. Okay. SQL Alchemy import O. Says O underscore. Says update, deleting. Okay, I'm seeing O, but I'm not seeing and. Bro, why did you write an article with O and not and? Crazy. I hope I'm not wrong, because what if I'm wrong? It will break, and I'll make changes. Okay, it has to be something that, because this is O. So I think this. So you modify records based on certain conditions. Item.name.update. Okay. So I'm thinking even here. Okay. The update would be maybe much better. This is the effect of not doing a tutorial. Okay. See, says look at this comment. It says you talk about SQL model, but we don't see a single example of how to create one such model. It is a real miss in this article. Fair enough. And I was expecting that and clause. Anyway. Yes, Commodore where clause docs. Let me see. Maybe I can find something here. So they're filtering data. Also, the challenge is that I'm just trying to skim through their docs. Let's see. I'm looking for that where. So you see, this is just with only one filter. Even it has only one filter. So here, not equal. So what else? Only greater than. This is more than. Okay. More than or equal this. Okay. Less than is this. Less than or equal is that. So multiple where, because where returns the same special object block, we can add more clauses to it. Okay, so like here, I would have said where equals to that. Okay, then dot also where. Okay, something like this. But is that an and clause? Okay, because and you want both conditions to be true. Okay, look at this. Look at this. They say this will select rows where the age is greater than or equal to 5, and also age is less than 40. And they say the equivalent SQL will be like this, so where age is greater than or equal to 35, and age is less than. So and the and clause. This is what I was actually looking for. Okay, how to work with the and clause in SQL model. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I got the medicine. Okay. I was looking for. All right. So it's never let to make changes. So here I can remove this dot and say where. That's why it's good sometimes to always check the documentation. Okay. It can save you from trouble. So in fact, I can have this where on the next line, even this one on the next line. Close this up. Even here. Say where. I need the period to be in the next line. Okay. Say where that. Unread also here, the same thing. Next line, where. Okay, where. I think this one is okay. Then in cred, I think this is also okay. If I get down here, I think this is now okay. Yeah. So I wanted a number of where clauses, just as it is. So let me now move on. Okay. Today I do not want to overdo it like I always do. So as long as I have these functions ready, we can always work with them and do a few improvements here and there. But let's work on the what is it called, the routes. Okay, the routes. So I can close this notifications.py. So yeah, so we have the model. Don't forget what I told you about the model. Okay, the Alembic migration. Then we have the schemas. Okay, then so the schemas is done. We don't need these log files for now. Okay, so now we can go to the routers. Okay, so in routers we have our module here called notifications.py, which was helping us to when we were doing the testing last time, if you remember. Okay, so right now what I need to do is to now create other routes. Okay, so right now we can come here down and I say define a new path operation. Okay, I start with marking all as red. Why not? Mark underscore all red. Okay, and to do this, okay, I can create a path operation decorator. Say router dot put. Okay, and when we're putting, I'll say forward slash. Okay, forward slash shall need the user ID whose notifications we're going to mark as red. Okay, user ID slash mark all red. Okay, of course if this is wrong we shall can always change the names later. Okay, then of course here we need the user ID like AI is suggesting, but this is not good enough. Okay, I want the user ID. It hasn't yet picked it, I think, because maybe my pro plan got done. Okay, it always makes this mistake of using what strings, but it's supposed to be UID. Even not right here, you see the same mistake. It's supposed to be UID. Okay, then after that we can have the DB session, the DB. Okay, which would be a session. Okay, and this has to come from SQL model. So I'll say from SQL model import session. So DB session. Okay, then we can have also some validation. Okay, we can pick maybe the current user. current user, current underscore user. Can need some like authentication, okay, to know who is trying to mark everything as read. And to do that, I can say from FastAPI, actually up here from FastAPI import depends, okay? Because like, we've been using a dependency, okay? So say depends, then we need our function, okay? Get current user. Who remembers where it is? Can already check what we did like in tickets, okay? It's here. Where? Excuse, get current user. Really? So we didn't need it here in users, okay? Usually I always, when I'm doing this, I check what I've done in the past, okay? So it's right here, using it. Get current user, okay? From backend, the details, the security. So I'm being lazy. So here depends, we say, it depends on get current user. Then here we can remove all these guys, okay? Remove all these guys. Remove all these guys. Remove also this one. Just keep it simple for now, like that. Remove this comma. Actually, here we need the actual type, the actual annotation. Okay. So I'll say from backend dot models dot user import user in DB. So here I have to say annotate with user in DB, then equals to the dependency. And just have this on the next line so that you see it. I don't have to wait for the other tool to do the formatting for us. Okay. So yeah, this is what we have so far. Mark all as read, user ID, DB session, current user. Okay. Now think about this. Okay. I've seen something. Excuse me. So if we are getting, okay, if we are getting the user ID here, okay, and the current user can give us the ID, do we need this in the in the in the path operation? Think about it. Okay. Do we need it? Okay. Since we're going to have authentication, okay, I guess let me just get the user ID from this. Okay. Let me remove this. Just keep it simple. There's something to also think about carefully. Okay. Carefully. So here, you see the count, okay, will be equals to, we have a function, remember a function we created from backend dot crude dot notifications import mark all notifications as read. Yeah. So here the count will be equals to mark all notifications as read. We pass the DB session, okay, and the user ID will be the current user.id, current user.id. Okay. Then here I can simply return, okay, dictionary saying marked as read, we pass the count. Okay, what else can I do? In case of anything, yeah, I'll do another code review. What's happening here? Says backend models cannot be resolved. We have backend models dot users, not user but users. Yeah, this is better. All right, so Yeah, that's how you can mark all as read. Then I want to say define, I want to set router dot delete, okay, for deleting a notification. Forgive me, I'm just doing things randomly, but whatever comes in my mind is what I'm trying to deal with. So here we shall have a path variable, which will be the notification ID. Then here say define delete notification. Okay, autocomplete this and see and review it just to make sure it does what I want. So notification ID because is a string, but this should be UUID.UUID. So the DB session. Okay. By the way, for this DB session, okay, I want you to notice something. Even I had forgotten something. Okay. I want to show you. Think flight order. I see in session. How we actually get the session is from a dependency. If my function go to get session, okay, yeah, that is me getting tired and forgetting. So from backend dot crude dot database import get underscore session. Okay, I was doing a big mistake. So here you have to say session equals to depends get session. Okay, even here the annotation is session, but dependency of getting session. So we have a function that gets first a session. If I go to it, okay, you see, simply says with session engine as session yield session. Okay, so it's a generator function. Okay, that gives us the session that we need. So what else? Notification ID, the DB session, and the current user. Okay, so say here we need to import also that function called delete notification. Okay, so I'll say deleted because remember it returns a boolean. So deleted equals to delete notification. Okay, so it takes in the DB session, the current user, the user's ID, okay, and the notification ID. If I go here, you can see the signature is the same. Okay, the signature is the same. And then here I can check and say if not deleted. Okay, simple check. And say return detail notification not found. If I go to, I want to go back to flights. Okay, and check for something interesting. I want to see. Okay, it's okay. Let's continue coding. So here you can simply say, if not deleted, okay, then we tell you that it was something wrong, okay. But rather, what I can do from FastAPI can import an HTTP exception, okay. Then here, okay, we raise an HTTP exception, okay. I'll accept this, okay, saying status code equals to is a 4, yeah, 404. You can see notification not found, okay. Then here detail notification deleted successfully. Even notification deleted is enough, okay, with the code. So from FastAPI, I want to import also status, okay. Then here I can say status to avoid magic strings dot HTTP not found, okay. Then here I can say comma status dot maybe no content. But of course, this detail, of course, I know we may not actually need it. Okay, we not need it. I need to research about how to handle that properly in FastAPI. Then there's a number of things I need to work on. So we have mark all as read, delete. What else can I do? I'm running out of time. You can work on things like getting, okay? Get user notifications, okay? So for getting user notifications, I can say for getting user notification, I want it to be this to stay, okay? This should stay, and should be this, okay? Because here is when I can apply things like skip, limit, and stuff like that, okay? So I would be introducing a clash, okay? I would be introducing a clash. Let me see. But here I can do, but to this old one, I can make some changes, okay? Here, I want to just make sure that there's no catching, okay? So headers equals to catch control. Let me remove this connection, keep alive, emphasis. Say catch control, no catch, okay? For now, I think this will be good. What else can I do? Actually, yeah, get 100 count instead of this, okay? At router dot get forward slash 100 count, okay? All these I'll need to revise them to see how to name them better. Get 100 count, okay? So for 100 count, I can have the same things like the DB, okay? And the current user. Then inside here, so the count would be equals to we have a function here called get 100 users count, okay? So get 100 users count, takes in the DB and the user ID. Then it can return the 100 count, okay? Like that. Of course, we might need to have kinetic models, okay? Specifying the response. We need to have models for the response model, okay? And actually, we have our schemas here. For some reason, my brain has ignored them, okay? All these. But let's continue. I'll add them later, okay? And then push. Do we have mark? Okay, we have mark all as read. We need to mark one, okay? Now let's put it right here, okay? Because you can mark one at red, all as red, or mark only one at red, okay? So I'll say at router dot put, okay? Put slash Let this be notification ID mark red, something like that. Okay. Then define, of course, these things we need to improve. Okay. So mark as red like so. And then right here, okay, we can now have, yeah, all this notification ID, the dependency of the database, the current user. Okay. Then I don't know why it has imported this here, but I'll remove it. Add it here, raffle format. Don't worry about this long line. It will be formatted automatically for us. Okay. So mark notification as red. Let me see. What does it return? Returns a notification response actually. Okay. So this is notification. This A, I think if you're not careful, can really mislead you big time. Okay. So it's sent to notification. Okay. So if not notification, we raise an HTTP exception saying status code equals to not found, detail notification not found. Otherwise, I simply return that notification like that. Okay. Yeah. So the number of things that we need to do. Okay. Like for example here. Okay. I need to specify like the response models. Okay. So make sure you do it. Let me just talk about it here, but it's something you need to do from backend dot schemas dot notifications import notification response. Okay. Then here I can see the response model will be the notification response like that. What else do I need to change? Inside here we have things like okay, let me leave that to you. Okay, think about how can you apply this response model, okay, to these other functions. How would it look like? Okay, how would it look like? So challenge yourself. Then maybe to do some small adjustment. Okay, I'm even thinking like this function here, where is it? Get and read count, okay? Should be something like this, okay? That returns like a streaming response, okay? Streaming response, whereby it gives us the last 10 notifications, okay? For a particular user, okay? But also, yeah, this one should also give us in real time, okay? So this should be like a server sent event. So if you want to try it out, do it, okay? And also this one should give us, should have things like authentication, authorization, okay? What else? Just to make things a little bit different, I want to create a function, okay? For publishing a notification, okay? That function, I think will be very, very helpful later. If I close this, okay? And I go to, I think it was utils. Okay. Again here, I may have to rename this differently. So here, of course, I'll maybe put this later. Okay. I'll say publish notification. Okay. Here it is saying it is taking an event. Okay. But maybe what I'm going to do, but give us the user ID. Okay. And which is a UUID. So import UUID. So this will be UUID.UID, then comma message. Okay. Message I think might be, let me just say dict, okay, to make things easier, okay. Then I can now, we don't need this, okay. I need to create now user specific channels, okay. So I'll say the channel which we're going to publish will be equals to f and f string, okay. Then I'll say notifications, okay, then user ID, okay. This is going to help us build a channel tied to the user ID, okay. Then before publishing, I want to try this. Say try, okay, try, did that, okay, and I can have a finally close, okay. Let it be empty, okay. So here say redis dot publish, okay, publish, not publish to this channel, okay. This seems to be the channel like that to this channel. JSON dot dumps this message, okay. Okay, so I assume this actually now looks cleaner, okay. This is cleaner and much better, okay. This is something that can be relied on, okay. So this is much better. So now let me move on to here. Finally, can say, okay, in case we need to always have a cleanup of our resources by saying redis.close, okay. Why is AI saying await? Maybe await redis close. Let me say redis dot close, okay. Is it actually say it's an async, okay. So I guess we can also await, okay, to have non-blocking behavior, okay. So we have a channel, we publish, so shall be using this for publishing, okay. Like when someone uploads a ticket, we shall be looking for this function, okay, publish notification. Then what else? This notification streamer, okay, we can update it, okay. We can update it. How do I want to update it? Okay, I want to update it first of all here, okay, by subscribing to a particular user ID. Remember, we took a user ID here, but we're not working with it well. And actually I want to also change this to uuid.uuid like that, okay. Then of course, like you see, AI is suggesting we are going to subscribe to a particular channel, okay. But instead of hard coding it like this, okay, I'll say channel. Can I spell channel? Then come here and say channel would be equals to that, okay. This looks better. What else is missing? So while true, await, publish, get messages, ignore, subscribe messages, okay. Okay, if message type equals to message. I'm thinking about how to improve this. In case, think about this, in case there is a JSON decode error, okay, what happens? What happens? What happens if JSON.loads fails? Okay, maybe the only way is to ensure that we always say JSON.dumps, okay. Or if it fails, let it fail. But I'm thinking about having a clause there, a try except clause, to make sure that it is only JSON decoded. That is, in case there's a JSON decode error, okay, we catch it, but it's okay. Let's leave it as this. Okay. So right now we have this channel, okay, which is now beta tied to a specific user because of this user ID. What else can I change? Here, I want to do this, okay? I want to have a final close, okay? Yes, a try, okay? I put this in a try block. Then I'll say finally, okay? Finally, we can now do what AI is suggesting, okay? We clean up, we release the resources, okay? I'll say finally pub sub, okay? Dot unsubscribe from the channel. Then await, okay? Pub sub thing dot close, okay? Then redis dot close, okay? Do we need to close them? This is something to think about. Do we need to close? Okay. Do we need to close this after publishing? Do we need to unsubscribe? Do we need to close? Think about it. Think about it. It is something I'm also going to think about. Just checking the chat to see if there's any question. Okay. So I hope you've got something out of this. This has been profitable for me. Okay. I need to move faster because I missed out on yesterday's stream. I need to move faster and deal with other things. Maybe I can wrap up the notifications offline, okay? And in the next stream, maybe explain to you what I've done, okay? So that we move on to something else. I need to wrap up, deploy this via Kubernetes and wrap up the MVP, okay? And because I think by now I have shown you some of the topics that you need to have for this project, okay? And then I want, if possible, I want to wrap up in the next 10 maybe videos, okay? So I want to start doing many things offline. Come in a stream, explaining to them, show you any concept in the during the stream, okay? If possible, the next stream should be implementing a features or things or tasks that teach new concepts, okay? Because by now I'm sure things like this notification stream, and now you know about it, okay? Because of the last stream, you know things concerning, for example, like these schemas. You know the models already. You know how to work with routers. You also know how to work with Redis. You know how to work with to do the CRUD operations. Okay, you know them. So I'm sure if you've been practicing, this is very smooth for you. So let us deal with this in the next stream. Okay, I'll show you what I will have done to clean up this and make sure it is clean and ready, okay, to work for the MVP. And then now I should be able now to introduce a new concept. I have my book here where I brainstorm things that I need to complete from the MVP. I actually eliminated some of the things that are not necessary, yeah, from the MVP. And once the MVP is done, yeah, I shall wrap up, and then any other feature will be now for enterprise, okay? And I'll develop them privately so that I can charge my customers for them. But yeah, let's meet in the next stream. Thank you for learning.